Hey everyone, my name's Cliff Muncie and we're going to do a quick unboxing and review of the Taotronics RGB 5050 LED strip light kit. Now, I'm not as familiar with these strip light kits as I am other LED applications. As you can see on our YouTube channel, we've done some rather unusual things with LEDs, so we are familiar with other types, Christmas light LEDs and things like that. We've put at one point we put like 700 lights on our car for Christmas. We've done that before. As you can see, I've got some LED lights underneath my desk here, but I'm not as familiar with these strip lights, so that's why I wanted to get these. Now, I'll show you the exact reasons why I got these. Okay, here's the application that I'm using them for. My wife and I love to go skating. She's got some quads and I've got some rollerblades, and the latest craze nowadays is to put lights underneath your skates. You can see them glowing on the floor and everybody's envious of you because you have lights on your skates. So, not that we desire to be envied, but we wanted to go ahead and try this out and put some lights on. So we had gone to the store, the drugstore I believe, and we got some of those little party wand things that light up, and we took the lights out of them and we put them on the bottom of our skates. You can see we made a little rig that you've got right there. It's got a little strap, and that little light glows on the bottom of the skate, which is pretty cool, and you can change the patterns. But I wanted to do a little bit more. I really want to have a strip going from like the whole length of the skate. I want it on this side and I want it on this side. I even want another strip that goes along the side of it and does something else. So I want it to do all kinds of stuff. And really, in order to do that, you kind of need to make something custom. And the way you do something custom is you get a strip light kit. So I'm hoping that's going to work, and I might show that in a later video. But for now, we're going to go ahead and do the unboxing. The other use that I had for these is that I've got a friend with an Airstream trailer, and she wants to put LED lights underneath her cabinets in her kitchen area. So I thought, well, this would be perfect. So I could get this strip. I could probably use it on my skates. I could probably have enough left over to do her camper. And so that was a big reason that I got this. Now, let's look at what's in this box. You've got a 16.5-foot LED strip, okay? You've also got an AC adapter, which converts your household current to 12 volts. Obviously, I wouldn't be using these on the skates. I'd probably be using some sort of battery. You've also got a receiver, which you plug in to the set, and it communicates with the controller. And the controller this is an RGB set, okay? RGB is red, green, blue, which means not only can you do red, green, and blue, but you can use any combination of red, green, and blue to create any custom color that you want, which I thought was really cool. Why did I go with Taotronics? Well, there's a lot of other manufacturers of LED lights, but the reason I went with this one is because it was a medium price range. It's not the cheapest of the cheap, but it's also not the most expensive ones that are out there. So I kind of went with the mid-range. This is my first time trying these, so this is the ones I've got. Now the other reason these have very positive reviews on Amazon. I think about 4 out of 5 stars on Amazon, and there were over 300 ratings on this, so very good there. This also has a memory feature, which I thought was really nice, or so I've heard. It does have a memory feature, which means that let's say I plug this in and I set it for blue, and every time I turn it on I want it to set for blue, okay? Let's say I unplug it, the whole thing, and I plug it back in. Allegedly, it will go right back to blue when you do that. That's a great feature for me because if I'm installing it in somebody's camper and they go to turn on that power switch, I want it to go back to the same color I had it at. So I thought that was a pretty cool feature too. Another selling point for these was that they're cuttable. You can actually cut these every 3 LEDs, and they're 12 volt. These have an adhesive on the back, so on the back of this strip, you can peel it right off and stick it where you want to. We'll check that out when we unbox it. The other thing about this is they are sealed. They actually have like a waterproof or water-resistant layer that's over top of them. So you should be able to use them indoors and outdoors. I'm not sure exactly how versatile that is, but we'll find out as we use them. I wanted to show you just real quick the versions that they have. I mainly want to focus on these two, okay? Because when I was comparing these, apparently in this industry there's a standard of sets that have 150 LEDs per 16.5 feet, and there's sets that have 300 lights per 16.5 feet. The 300 lights are a denser strip. The lights are closer together. There's more lights on the strip overall. It's a brighter strip. So I went with the super dense or the double density 300 light strip. This is number TTSL007. And you can get this on Amazon. I've seen the list price is $69.99, and I've seen the sale price for much lower than that. So I'll say probably at least half of that price. You can get this probably on sale at Amazon, so check that out. Let's go ahead and get this thing out of the box so we can check it out. Taotronics RGB 5050 strip light kit, and it's number SL007. I'll go ahead and show you the back of the box, just some basic applications that you can use it for, home office, leisure, holiday decorations, etc. All right, let's go ahead and take a look inside of here. Okay, one of the first things we got is the instruction manual, or user manual. And I've seen a lot about this, and everybody I've seen talk about it says it's really detailed, and as you can see, there's pictures of everything. How to hook multiple sets together, how to cut the pieces, things like that. By the way, cutting the LED strip light will void its warranty. That's an interesting thing to note. I want to be sure that I brought that up. You can still cut it, and they've even got instructions on it, but just a little detail. Here's all about the controller, tells you everything it does. So yeah, here we are. Numbers of everything that does on the back. Okay, pretty cool. All right, let's get to the main event here. All right, so this is the spool. Ah, yeah, made in China. That in a minute. We'll go ahead and open up the rest here. Got a divider. Alright. And it's like the cord that goes with the AC adapter. Okay. This is the infrared controller. Pop that out of there. And then you got your remote control. And it comes with its own user manual. Pretty neat. Okay, let's go ahead and move some of this packaging out of the way. Alright, so let's go ahead and unwrap this controller. Or wireless remote. You can see it's got a little button cell battery inside there. And we've got it's like the power button, and we got red, green, and blue, and white. And we got all the different colors here, little presets. And we've got adjustments for the red, green, and the blue. And we got DIY buttons, quick, slow, auto, flash. We got some fade and some jump buttons, and we'll see what those do in a minute. Get the manual with that. All right, now here is the actual LED strip. Go ahead and unwind just a little bit of that, and so you can see what that looks like. So the very end of this cable is the little 4-pin connectors. I think these are pretty common with the RGB LED strips. There's you can see there's a little arrow. And that arrow is very important, and we'll see that in a minute. I've watched a lot of videos on this. You need to always make sure that's lined up with the opposite side that you're plugging it into. And we can see here, of course, there's one, that's an LED there, that's an LED, and that is an LED. And then you cut them right here. That's where you can cut and splice on additional things if that's what you're doing. And there have been reviewers that said that this has a funny smell to it, and I just want to. So far, I mean, you can smell it a little bit. There's like it's got like that new plastic smell to it, and it does have a little bit of a coating. I think it keeps it from sticking to itself in the spool, but it's not bad to me. I really don't think it's that bad. We'll see when we plug it in what it smells like then, but that was one unusual review I saw about that. So Already, here's the controller, or the, it's the infrared controller that communicates with the remote. So here's what that looks like. It's got it's like a little DC plug there, and it's got your out plug there, and then infrared, and that looks like an infrared receiver, kind of like what you'd have on your TV or your VCR, that picks up the signal from the remote. So that's just basically the only two outs on there. And then there's some little mounting brackets where you can mount that underneath your cabinet or inside or wherever you're putting that. And then you've got the adapter, AC adapter. You can see that input 100 to 240 volts, 1 amp. Output is 12 volts, 5 amps. And you got a standard DC plug there. And then you got the other part that plugs into your wall. Well, let's go ahead and see if we can get this thing working. Alright, I've got this AC adapter plugged in. And the next thing in the lineup will be the infrared controller. I've got that plugged into that. And then we'll plug the infrared controller into the lights. And as I showed you earlier, always make sure you've got there's an arrow on this and there's an arrow on that. Make sure those sides, so if you flip it around, see they're not lined up. If you have it like that, you can see those two arrows are lined up. And we have power. Wow. I'm amazed at how bright this thing is. Man alive, that's bright. Look at that. It's incredible. It's casting light on my hands and the table. That's amazing. Look how bright that is. All right, let's try on and off. Okay, so there's off, and there's back on. And I wonder if the brightness. Okay, it doesn't look like the brightness does anything on that setting. I'm having a hard time looking at it. They're so bright. All right, let's try red. There you go. Solid red. Let's try brightness now. There it is. So now that goes down quite a bit. There's red. Let's go back up, brightness. Okay, there's back up. And it's full brightness. There's green. There's blue. There's white. Okay, now I want to stop on white for just a second because I know that white a lot of times is a big concern for folks because LED white is not like white out of, say, like a lamp or something like that, like a candle, like a yellowish color, more of a soft white. These are more of a bluer color, but the cool thing about these is that you can customize these. So let's do some other colors below red. All right, so there's red. There's let's see, there's an orange. There's another color there. It looks like a peach color. Kind of looks like green, actually. That looks like yellow, but it is sort of yellow. It also makes a difference on what you're shining it on. So like if I shine it on this piece of paper, but sometimes the colors don't exactly match the controller. But let's say, all right, and then there's like a teal color. Going through all the different ones. There's a pure blue, a little bit lighter blue. It's like a purple, a little different purple, a little more of a fuchsia. There's a pink, and there's white. And there's a little bit more of a soft white almost, is what that kind of looks like. It looks like pink on the controller, but then there's another shade altogether, a little bit kind of a pink color. And I wanted to mention this too. These things, if you leave them in the spool like this, they will get hot. It's unusual for LEDs, in my opinion, that they get hot, but these do for some reason. I guess it's just the power output that they have, but they do get warm. Even when they're not on the spool, they get warm. These are actually really hot already. And these are hot, so I'm going to turn these off. I'm going to undo the spool, and that way we're not getting as much heat. That's one thing unusual. I don't want to risk damaging them. Or all right, let's go ahead and do some custom colors here, and let's see what we can do. Once you hit these DIYs, I believe that's full color on all of this, so you can't go up anymore on red. So what we need to do is back off of each color. So let's say I want less red. Now you can see it getting a little more blue. It's doing it slowly, so I don't know how you can see it on the camera, but you can see that thing is getting really a lot more blue. So just as an experiment, let's go back to white. Okay, let's go back to DIY 1 first, and we're going to back off of the blue. We're going to try to create like a custom white color. Back off of the blue a little bit, and let's see, we'll back off of the green a little bit, maybe back off of the blue a little bit more. Now you can see now we're sort of at more of a softer white color. So then once you've got that, then you can press DIY 1 again, and it should be set. So let's hit DIY 2, which goes back to the default. I haven't set DIY 2 yet. And then let's hit DIY 1. Good, so now we're back at our soft white color. So here's regular white, and here's my custom soft white color. Pretty cool. Auto. Okay. Auto is cause yourself a seizure mode, obviously. That's just crazy. And they're not feeling as warm as they were on the spool, so that's good. Auto, it looks like auto cycles through. Yeah, see, auto's cycling through several different variations of patterns. Oh, there was a quick flash there. Now we're back to going through, we're hitting every color now. So this is on auto. Let's do flash. Wow. Can we flash red? No, we can just flash white. Let's do a fade. This is, it says fade 7. There's a fade 3 and a fade 7. Let's do fade 3. Aha, okay, so now that's kind of a fading off and fading back into each color. Let's do this jump 7 button. So now we're rotating around the color wheel one by one. And jump 3. It looks like we're doing it even faster. This is really so bright. I'm going to tell you just again, these are so bright that it hurts your eyes if you're looking straight at these things. That's why I definitely would put them under a cabinet and don't have your children stare straight at them, because they're just crazy bright. I'm amazed at how bright these things are. So I think once we're on those, I think we can do the slow. Yeah, see, there we go. There's the slow. So let's get something real pretty. Let's do this fade from one color to another. Now let's slow that puppy down. Let's slow it way down here. There's a hair bit of a jump as it goes through its major colors, but real pretty. Pretty fade there. If you could see kind of what that looks like on a white piece of paper there. And if the LEDs are flashing in the camera, they don't really, or flickering. Sometimes LEDs have a tendency to flicker on screen. They're not flickering in person. I just want you to know that. You can quicken that up a little bit. I'll go all the way up. Just keep pushing quick. Yeah, see, so now it's really going through the colors very fast. Overall, functionality, I haven't installed it on my application yet. Like I said, I may do another video of that where I'm actually installing it. I'm really anxious to see if these will work with a battery. I know they're 12 volt, but I was actually going to try to run them on a 9 volt, so I'm not sure how that'll work. But they're pretty neat lights. They're very low profile. They're small. They'll easily fit on underneath the skates like I was wanting them to do. And they will be perfect for a cabinet. Oh, and let me test my theory or what I've been told about the memory. Let's go to red real quick and move this over so you can see a little bit better. Let's go to red and we'll unplug. I'm just going to unplug this infrared controller. Just unplug it straight from there. All right, so it was on red. It's completely unplugged from power. Let's plug it back in. Okay, so a little bit of a flicker, but it goes right back to red. There's kind of my soft white color, and we'll unplug it. Okay. So in a camper, if this were plugged into a 12 volt and I had a switch on it, this would be the equivalent to just turning the switch off. So now I'll just go ahead and plug this back in. And there it goes. It did. It went right back to the same color I had. So that's pretty much it. I didn't test this one button up here. I think this is a pause button right here. So if I click, let's go to the fade. Let's go to this other fade. That's kind of a slow fade. And hit pause. Look at that. It stops right on the color that you want. So you can let it continue cycling. You're like, oh, I like that color. Let's try green. There it goes. So there we go. Now we stopped it on the color. So that's like a play pause button. That's kind of neat. So I think I've covered most everything in here. I can recommend these so far. I don't know how long they'll last. I don't know what the lifespan is. I can't comment on that, but they're a really cool light set. They're extremely affordable for what you're getting. I mean, you're looking at almost 16.5 feet of light. You're looking at a full color manual. You don't see these now anymore nowadays. But man, I wish more things came with manuals like this. This is a really nice manual. So I'm pretty happy with this product. Go check it out. Again, this is the Taotronics RGB 5050 LED strip light kit. Enjoy.